Welcome to Refine the Machine. I'm Lo, and today I'm going to be focusing on doing exercises, but I want to do exercise different. See, a lot of people say they don't have time to do exercise, so I created an exercise plan that I call the microdose, which means that each exercise takes less than 1 minute. Each exercise focuses on specific parts of your body, and they have progressions and regressions, which means you can make them harder or easier depending on your skill level and how your joints are and where you're at in your fitness journey. So ultimately, I just wanted to make it easy and accessible and quick. That way you could do it while watching Jeopardy, playing Call of Duty or Apex Legends or whatever video game you like. You could do it on work during lunch breaks or even while watching your kids during their nap. You don't need a whole hour to dedicate to working out. You can do it very quickly and very simply. So that's what we're going to do today. And also, microdosing. Everyone knows microdosing from psychedelics. It's become popular. I've experimented with them, and I'll talk about that at another time. But for now, let's do some exercise. All right, so the first exercise is going to be, they're actually stretches. I want just to get your body a little, greased up. So you're just going to make your joints nice and loose. So first we start with a child's pose, which is a yoga pose, but it's really good for your arms, your back, and your lower body. You pretty much sit your feet together, and then you lean back into your body and push your arms down. And try and get your head to the ground. All of these are regressions and progressions, so the better you get. Like, as you can see, my head doesn't really touch the ground, but that's alright. This is just about stretching the arms, the shoulder, your hips, your legs. And while you're in here, just breathe a little deep. And then release, It's very simple. And then the next is, these are just stretches, so they're going to be pretty quick. So from there, you kind of come up into what they call a Cobra, where you're pushing, you take your body from the ground, bend your arms, keep your elbows at your side, and then push your body up. Now you're just trying to keep your hips to the ground. It's kind of hard, but you're stretching your lower back, your butt, and your arms a little bit, and also your neck. You're tilting your neck to the sky. And this is just going to release some pressure in your back. It's going to feel a little tight at first, and then you just release slow. And then the next will be a cat-cow, which is a tabletop position where you're on all fours. This is going to help with your core, and it's also really good for a breathing exercise, because as you do stretches, it's good to breathe. Actually, when you do all exercises, it's good to breathe. So what you're going to do is just kind of bend your head in, and you exhale on here, and then you lift your head up, and inhale while pushing your butt to the sky. You just do a few of these. This will help you. And then to get your arms even more loose, you're just going to take your arm, lift it up, and stretch as comfortable as you can. No pain. Just kind of pull your arm over. You can do this standing as well. I'm just doing it so I don't have to readjust the camera. But just stretch side to side. This just helps with your core, your side, your back, and your arm. Just pulling up. Now, another one you can do is a happy baby, which is one I learned from a yoga class, which I thought was cool. But you kind of just lay on your back, and you pull your knees in, and this is really good for your back. So you kind of lay down all the way, and just kind of rock. And this, that feels great. And this kind of just cracks your back, loosens it up. The key before all exercise is just to loosen up whatever you're going to work on, and just put attention there. Because that attention puts intention there. And I know this might sound all woo-woo or whatever. I'm telling you, if you can think about it, you can make great progress. You just kind of let your body rock, and your body will naturally just relax. I don't really have too much room here, but that's all right. But ultimately, you can also do these exercises anywhere, which is why I'm doing it on a yoga mat. I normally just work out on the floor, but I just want to show you the amount of space we have. It's not too much. It's a 6-foot yoga mat by, I don't know, 2.5 feet. You can do this in a hallway, next to your bed, pretty much wherever you're at. So you can do this in the morning, at night. You could do it, like I said, watching TV, before, after, during commercials, whatever. But pretty much just as simple and easy as possible. So the first actual exercise is a plank. Now the plank is isometric exercise. You're just holding yourself. And it might seem like it's not doing anything. But this is all about just holding your position for as long as possible. Try and keep the natural curve of your back. And you just breathe. And you breathe in. So if this is hard for you, if this is like your core's not ready, because this is a hard exercise, you can regress by either doing a tabletop plank, where you're here, and this is pretty good, or you can use the wall to assist yourself. Also, the progression of a plank is coming here. So ultimately what you're doing is you're gonna pull your body up and you're holding your side. Now this is advanced because you need wrist strength. Your wrist needs to be quite strong to hold yourself up. And if you're gonna do a side plank, this is unilateral, so that means that you're doing one side at a time. You would have to flip. But this is a progression again, so it's okay if you're not here yet. You start where you're at, all right? And then the next is mountain climbers. So mountain climbers is a variation of a plank. So it's pretty much a plank. But what you're doing is in the plank position, you go from a low plank to a higher plank, and you're holding yourself. And like I said, this is if you have the wrist strength. Don't beat yourself if you're not here yet. But you're gonna raise your knees up. Try and cross your body. Repeat. You just do that. You do it slow. The slower is better, especially if you want to feel the burn. I mean, you could do endurance, like run. You can do it so many ways, you know. And then the progression is a variation on that. You're just going to take the mountain climber position, or the plank position, and this is called the tabletop. So what you're doing, you drop your knee, you hold your arm, like shoulder width apart, and then you're just going to push your leg out and your arm out at the same time, and hold. But the key is, so right here you'll feel it in your leg, your arm, your shoulder. This is a full body exercise. When you come in, you cross your body and you hold. You kind of crunch your body together, and then you kind of let it go nice and gently. Now if that part's hard, like I said, this is a progression, so you can literally break that down any way that is doable for you. It takes time to do this stuff, and that's why bodyweight exercises are great, because they all have progression and regression, and it's hard to hurt yourself because you're using your own body weight. You're not putting extra weight on your body, you're just using gravity and your own body. So you can build this up from anywhere. If you want to do the regression of a mountain climber, it's a standing mountain climber, which is people know as high knees. So you can do it crossing your body like here, or you can do it straight up. Whatever is good for you. I recommend trying to cross and take your elbow to your knee. Elbow to your knee. You just do that nice and slow. Like I said, all these take under a minute. I'm kind of going fast through them, but that's just because I'm trying to get it all, trying to show you every progression and regression. But then you could also do, sorry, I'm going kind of quick. But so yeah, from the the mountain climbers or high knees, you go into a push-up. Now everyone knows a push-up. Push-up is simple. It is you. People think it's you pushing yourself off the earth. But what if you imagine you pushing the earth down? And you push. And you push. You know? And you don't need to have your... I see some people go like 90 degrees with their elbows like this. Don't flare your elbows out. Keep your elbows tight to your body. Or you could go 45 degrees. That works different parts of your body. The inside is like your triceps and your biceps. The 45 degree is more chest. So that is like a basic push-up. And then there is a progression, which could be a Hindu push-up, which is like, they call them dive bombers or dons. You kind of come here, and then you push yourself up. Now again, these exercises require wrist strength, but this is just something you could do when you get here. Another variation is like handstand push-ups or stands like that, but this all takes time and it's all progression. So a variation of this, which is a little easier, especially if your wrists aren't quite developed yet and you don't have the upper body or core, you kind of come off your knees. And I know people call these girl push-ups. Man, start wherever you're at. It doesn't matter. I don't care your sex or anything like that. But if you can, because if you rotate on your knees, instead of keeping your knees flat, I mean, you can do that too. But if you could keep your knees up and kind of use your knees as a pivot, that's a good way to get the motion of a push-up down. And then as you progress, you could do the more advanced or even the regular push-up position. Now another thing you could do is use a wall-assisted push-up, which is pretty much the same as doing a push-up on the wall or on the floor, except on the wall. You can also do it to various degrees, like right here. You come on a chair. I don't know if you can see this in the back. Well, like on a chair. This would be kind of weird. But yeah, you come on the chair. Hopefully your chair doesn't have wheels. Makes it hard. But yeah, where you do it on the wall. Just like that. Now, the next exercise is, we've been focusing mostly on core, upper body. The next is the position you see me in here. It's a squat. Now you could just sit in a squat. You sit in the squat position, or you can do the active squat, which is coming from the top and then sitting down and then doing the same. It's easier if you raise your arms as you come down. It like counterbalances you, and then bring your arms up so you push up. Same way you would jump, kind of just pop yourself up. I mean, there's different ways. This is a good way. Then a variation of this is a Hindu squat, where you're taking the same position, except you're raising your heels, purposely pushing your knees in front of your toes and throwing your hands forward. So like this. And that goes into more advanced positions, like the sissy squat or the pistol squat. But this is just one of the progressions. Now, and if you need, you can always elevate your heels on something to make it a little easier to get into that position. See, you can use a book. Like if you elevate your heels on books, you can literally just work yourself like that. If for whatever reason you have any ankle or knee issues, you could do something like that. And if that still doesn't feel stable enough, what you could do is use a chair itself. This chair is kind of short, honestly. But there it goes higher. That's good. So the chair. So what you're going to do is just like, let's say you're on the couch, commercials on TV, I don't know, you're watching whatever show, and commercial, you literally just come up, stand up, squat back down. That's a squat. You're not doing the full motion, like heels to calves or anything like that, but you're kind of just practicing that motion. Also, if there's no chair available, you can use a wall. Same idea. You just kind of put your hand on the wall, either on your side. It depends how you're comfortable. You don't want to fall, you don't want to hurt yourself. So wherever you feel comfortable, you're going to just let yourself go. If you need to pull yourself back up, that's fine. It's the motion of getting down and trying to get back up. That's key. So, and that is the full routine with all progressions and regressions at once. I mean, you can hear me, I'm out of breath. This is a good exercise. I'm sweating, I feel good. So that's all I wanted to share was like, exercise doesn't have to be that complicated. You don't need extra equipment. You can see I use no weights. I use nothing, but I've just done a lot of exercise, and you can do this too. Like I said, it takes less than a minute, and don't discount the power of a minute, because each day is made up of a lot of minutes. I don't know how many. There's a lot, 60 times 24, you know, so that's what we got. So each minute makes up your day. So if you could just do this, let's say you got 5 loose minutes in a day. I mean, 1 minute every other hour or something like that. You do some of these exercises, and you do that 3 days a week. That's equivalent to doing like a hard exercise 2 days a week. Just think about that. So it's all time. It all compounds, you know. So I want to end this with a quote, and the quote is part of the reason I do this, and it's a quote by Arthur Ashe, which I'm going to make a video about him because I find him so interesting. He was a black tennis player in the 70s, and he said, start where you are, do what you can with what you have. So until next time, refine. So I'm just editing the video now, and I realized that I forgot to talk about rest because I was just trying to get through the video, but as you do your exercises, you want to rest in between exercises. You could do anywhere between 30 seconds to a couple minutes of rest. That's just to give yourself time to catch up, catch your breath, all that. You know, I was just trying to get through them. Another thing you could do is to repeat something that you're focusing on. So let's say you want to focus on your legs today. You just do more squats. You take a break, do more squats, or same thing with push-ups or mountain climbers, whatever you feel your focus is on. And also you could just repeat the whole thing over again if you really wanted to get into it. Another thing you could do to make it a little more challenging is to slow down the tempo of any exercise. By slowing down, you're focusing on the slow movement. And I find like even I could do over 60 push-ups, but if I slow them down, I find that it's very hard for me to get over 20. So it's just something like a good way to challenge yourself if you feel like you're doing really well. But anyway, just wanted to say that, and if you guys liked the video, like and subscribe, and until next time, refine. Peace out.